My favorite subject, the human gut microbiome. The human gut microbiome is now believed to be the essence to people's health and longevity all across time, all across cultures, all over the planet. When we study cultures who still live in a hunter-gatherer kind of way, where there's no processed foods in their diet whatsoever, it's calculated that they're consuming up to 100 grams of fiber a day in unprocessed, unagriculturally grown food sources. Now, that's not really realistic for us here in Western cultures. But what is realistic is understanding this mutualistic benefit between these microorganisms that live in our gut, how they process the food that we give them, and how that impacts our health. Everything we've talked about so far is microbiome friendly. There's nothing that we're going to suggest in this course that is going to be detrimental to the gut microbiome. But I wanted to expand on this topic to, again, hopefully inspire you so you can create a grateful relationship between your environment and yourself. So the human intestine, believe it or not, the small intestine, if you were to cut it open and stretch it out, it's actually 2 full tennis courts in surface area. What that means is that every single molecule that we chew and digest and absorb and assimilate into building block proteins in our body comes from this digestive process. When we talk about a healthy gut microbiome, keeping in mind that it's kind of unrealistic for us to just live off the land and have all these fruits and vegetables available to our disposal, like those cultures and those tribes that live in the Amazon rainforest. What we have learned from them is that they have little to no metabolic disease, they're not overweight, and that they don't have any autoimmune disease either. In Western countries, what we have is an agricultural system that undermines the natural diversity of the world. And again, I'm not here to say that it's all right or all wrong, but what we do understand is that this environmental relationship between human and earth is actually really important. So when it comes to our food choices, how we live our lives, the types of foods that we put in our body, it is the best thing you can do for yourself when you buy directly from a small farmer. Small farmers are often not using major agricultural equipment or major agricultural means such as pesticides, which then deplete our soil. These microorganisms that are found in probiotic foods actually come from soil naturally in our environment. So the more you can source foods directly from good earth, the healthier you're going to be. So not only is there a lot of surface area in the gut, but there's also a variety of microorganisms that inhabit our bodies. What's really fascinating is each individual has a unique signature of microorganisms that inhabit their body as unique as our fingerprint. Now, I'm originally from Oregon, and in Oregon, we have wonderful researchers at the University of Oregon that have actually studied this unique effect of each individual microbiome. And what they found is we actually live in an aura cloud of our own microorganisms. And as we leave a room, evidence of this microbial cloud still exists for up to 5 minutes after our departure. To take it a step further, I'm going to then explain how these different types of organisms interact with your food and your personal body for a sign of health. According to Art of Bariatrics, our whole theme here, and according to microbial dietary principles, what we want to support is diversity and abundance. In order to have numerous different types of bacteria inhabiting our body for good, we need to eat a variety of food in our diet. One of the big pitfalls that I see in people who have undergone bariatric surgery is that they often eat the same foods every single day. And because we emphasize protein so early on in the program, so many people deny themselves the ability to eat a variety of plant-based foods. So while protein is really important for all the mechanisms that we previously explained, I'll go into more detail in the next video about how plants are really the magical sauce here when it comes to creating a diverse amount of microorganisms that inhabit your body. These microorganisms take the information, all nutrition is DNA or RNA, and interacts with our DNA. So one of the really unique findings of how these gut bacteria interact with our health is that they have their own set of genes, which then interact with our genome. So there is this mutualistic relationship between diet, environment, and these microorganisms. Earlier we had talked about nervous system health and what it means to have a good regulated stress response. What's also really fascinating is that sneaky little hormone called cortisol, if it gets amplified in our body under situations of stress. Oftentimes we also have neurotransmitters such as adrenaline or norepinephrine that also get triggered from our adrenal glands. The bacteria can sense this, and when they sense this, they actually release genetic changes, alerting it's like an alarm, alerting the entire population of bacteria that their host is going down. So what I like to say is you really want to develop this harmonious relationship between your body, your environment, and your diet so that you can really create a 5-star hotel. You want to be a sexy destination for these healthy microorganisms so that they can survive and thrive inside you. When we have a healthy gut microbiome, we have a healthy gut lining. When we have a healthy gut lining, we have the opportunity to make all of our neurotransmitters, the serotonin, the GABA, and our whole system work synergistically. The human gut microbiome and its health is now associated with every single metabolic disease that we know exists, including type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, sleep apnea, joint pain, even cancer. So as this video is being made, just know that we're kind of on this precipice of understanding how these microorganisms interact with our diet, with our environment. And pretty soon we're going to be seeing even more technological advances, more therapeutic advances to help us nurture and take care of our gut microbiome. In our product line that we recommend for supplements, you'll see a lot of things that are here to support your gut microbiome, whether it's probiotics, fermented foods, or certain herbal supplements that help protect that gut lining. I mentioned stress. This was a study found in the 90s, and it was studied in dogs, but that whole vagus nerve concept, whenever we experience stress hormones, the stress hormones actually trigger an enzyme event that breaks apart the tight junctions at your gut level. And so if your gut level is broken open, then what can happen is undigested food particles can leak across, interacting with your nervous system, your endocrine system, and increasing inflammation in the body. And this is also believed to be the precursor to certain autoimmune diseases. So again, the takeaway message is the microbiome is a really important part of you and is unique to you. In the next videos, we'll be learning about how nutrition can impact the gut microbiome and what control we have over creating the body we want.